Kim Namjoon, better known as RM, the leader of global K-pop phenomenon BTS, has officially made history by becoming the first K-pop artist to deliver a keynote speech at the APEC CEO Summit Korea 2025. The event, held at the Busan Exhibition and Convention Center on October 29th, brought together heads of state, global business leaders, and influential thinkers from across the Asia-Pacific region. Standing confidently on the world stage, RM delivered a powerful and heartfelt speech titled "No Borders, No Limitations: Creativity Beyond Boundaries." In his 20-minute address, he discussed the transformative power of culture, music, and art in connecting people across nations, emphasizing that creativity has no borders. When we first started BTS, we never imagined our music would reach so many hearts around the world. What I've learned through this journey is that art and culture can move economies, inspire diplomacy, and most importantly, build bridges where politics cannot, RM said to a standing ovation from the audience. His speech touched on topics such as cultural exchange, innovation in the creative economy, and the role of youth in shaping a more inclusive and sustainable future. RM also expressed gratitude to the international community for recognizing the influence of Korean culture, from K-pop to K-drama and visual arts, as a vital contributor to the global creative industry. APEC organizers praised RM for bringing a fresh and human perspective to discussions usually dominated by economic jargon. Dr. Min Ji-woo, an economic advisor for the event, said RM's words reminded us that trade and creativity are not separate. They are both forms of connection and expression. The appearance marked a significant moment not only for RM, but also for the broader Korean entertainment industry, which continues to expand its influence beyond music. The speech was live-streamed worldwide and quickly went viral on social media, with hashtags like #RM@APEC and #NoBordersNoLimitations trending globally within minutes. Following the summit, RM shared on Instagram, "It was an honor to speak on behalf of artists and dreamers everywhere. Let's continue creating a world with fewer walls and more bridges." As BTS prepares for their highly anticipated reunion in 2026, RM's participation in one of the world's most important economic forums underscores his evolution, from K-pop idol to global cultural ambassador and advocate for creativity, unity, and peace. Experts and cultural commentators worldwide have praised RM's keynote speech as a milestone in redefining the relationship between culture and economics. According to Professor Daniel Lee, a cultural diplomacy expert at Yonsei University, RM's presence at the APEC CEO Summit signals a shift in how global institutions perceive creative industries. For decades, economic summits were reserved for CEOs, politicians, and economists. RM's inclusion shows that pop culture, especially K-pop, is now being recognized as an economic and diplomatic force. His message reflects a new generation of leadership that values empathy, creativity, and cross-cultural understanding. The speech also sparked discussion on the concept of soft power economics, a term describing how countries use culture, entertainment, and art to strengthen their global influence. South Korea has long been a pioneer in this area, and RM's APEC appearance further elevated that narrative. Industry observers noted that RM's participation aligns with South Korea's broader cultural diplomacy strategy, known as K-Culture 2030 Vision, aimed at expanding cultural exports across Asia-Pacific and beyond. Government officials in attendance reportedly met with RM after his speech to discuss potential partnerships in global youth initiatives and art-based education programs. Meanwhile, international audiences celebrated RM's message. On social media, fans and professionals alike shared clips of his speech, quoting his most inspiring lines, "Art builds bridges where words fail. Every young creator deserves to dream without borders." Within 24 hours, the hashtags RM@APEC and No Borders, No Limitations had accumulated over 8 million mentions on X, formerly Twitter, and Weibo, proving that his influence extends far beyond the music industry. In a post-summit interview with Reuters, RM elaborated on his motivation for accepting the invitation. He said, "I wanted to speak not as an artist representing a brand, but as a person who believes in creativity as a universal language. Whether you make music, paint, or run a business, creativity connects us all." The APEC CEO Summit Organizing Committee released a statement thanking RM for his inspiring and visionary contribution, describing his speech as a defining moment for cultural leadership in the Asia-Pacific region. RM's participation also reignited global interest in BTS's upcoming reunion. Many fans interpreted his appearance as a preview of the group's collective message for their 2026 comeback, one that could merge art, activism, and global collaboration. Cultural analysts suggest that RM's speech may open doors for other artists to participate in international forums, bridging entertainment and policymaking. Dr. Sarah McKenney from Harvard's Kennedy School noted RM represents a new archetype of leadership, someone who leads with empathy, intellect, and artistic insight. He's setting a precedent for what cultural diplomacy can look like in the 21st century. As South Korea continues to rise as a powerhouse of creative innovation, RM's voice at APEC stands as a symbol of the era, one where the arts are not just entertainment, but essential tools for dialogue, understanding, and unity across the globe. Behind RM's historic appearance at the APEC CEO Summit Korea 2025, there was months of careful preparation. Sources close to big hit music revealed that RM personally worked with both the APEC Organizing Committee and cultural policy advisors to shape his speech. His focus was on bridging the language of economics with the universal language of art, something he felt deeply connected to as both a musician and an art enthusiast. Namjoon spent weeks studying global trade topics, sustainable development goals, and youth innovation trends, said an insider from HYBE. He wanted his speech to be meaningful not just for fans, but also for policymakers. Every word was deliberate. RM was reportedly involved in every detail, from the visuals displayed behind him to the musical undertones that accompanied his closing message. The minimalist stage design reflected his belief in clarity and connection over spectacle. "It was very RM," one APEC staff member commented, "simple, elegant, and powerful." According to attendees, RM arrived in Busan 2 days before the summit and took part in a private roundtable with young Korean entrepreneurs and artists. During the discussion, he encouraged them to embrace creativity as a force of progress, not perfection. His empathy and intellectual depth reportedly left a lasting impression on participants. After his keynote, social media platforms exploded with admiration. Within hours, clips of RM's address trended across Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, accumulating over 20 million views in less than 24 hours. Fans praised his composure, intellect, and authenticity, calling him a true ambassador of Korea. Celebrities and public figures also joined the conversation. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol congratulated RM via X, stating, "Your words reminded the world that Korea's creative energy transcends boundaries." Meanwhile, Apple Music executive Oliver Schuster tweeted, "RM's speech at APEC proves why artists are among today's most important thought leaders." ARMY around the world expressed immense pride. In Seoul, fan groups organized live watch parties and shared translated versions of his speech in more than 20 languages. Fans in Brazil, Indonesia, and the US launched hashtags like "Proud of You RM" and "Leader of Tomorrow," which stayed trending for 2 consecutive days. RM isn't just talking about music, he's talking about humanity. He represents what it means to be an artist who cares about the world. Economists have already noted the potential long-term effects of RM's speech. With global media coverage spanning Reuters, the Financial Times, and the Times of India, analysts predict that his presence could boost international cultural collaborations and tourism interest in South Korea. Furthermore, universities in Seoul and abroad have begun discussing including RM's speech as a case study in cultural diplomacy courses. His remarks, "Art builds bridges where words fail," have already been quoted in academic and policy discussions. Back at HYBE headquarters, sources say RM is continuing his work on BTS's 2026 comeback, while also preparing an art-based global campaign inspired by his APEC message. Though details remain under wraps, fans speculate it will combine elements of music, design, and international youth engagement. As one cultural journalist from Billboard Korea summarized, RM didn't just make a speech, he made history. He reminded the world that creativity can stand shoulder to shoulder with economics and politics, and he did it with the grace and thoughtfulness that define BTS at their best.